You are now listening to the Team Heal podcast.
Describe what Marcellus Wallace looked like. What? Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfucker. Say what one more goddamn time. What? He looked like a bitch.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 82 of the TEAMHEEL podcast live here on Google Hangout, the TEAMHEEL podcast YouTube channel. Yes, it's Saturday, February 28th, 2015. Officially, 1:08 in the morning, 1:05, whatever. I know we're like, 2 hours and a half later. We're supposed to start at 11:30, but we're starting now. I apologize again, guys, for any inconvenience, any mishaps, what have you. It happens, you know. These things normally happen. We try not to have these things happen, but, you know, what can you do, right? But, anywho, guys, I am Heel Steven.
Oh, I thought you were going to play the Google effects, my bad.
Nah, I'm not doing that this week.
This week, I'm Knowledge of Wrestling, you know.
Yeah, it's gonna be us this week. Chase Oliver will not be joining us this week. He has outside obligations to take care of, which is fine. It is what it is, but it's only us this week. So, Knowledge of Wrestling, how have you been this week, bro?
It's pretty hectic. Well, today specifically, you know, work. That's why we're fucking late, pretty much, because I gotta work like near 12 o'clock, almost.
Really?
It's stupid, like.
How stupid
I'm busy, and you know, like I can't really complain because like my boss like took away some of my hours, so
damn.
So this helps kind of, but no, it sucked.
I guess I feel what you're saying there. It does suck at the same time. It's like, yeah, I'm having less hours, so meaning more time for me. I can relax. I can, you know, sleep, do some homework. I can jerk off, beat my meat, and you know, and crap like that. But guys, we thank you all for tuning in, whether it be here live on the live stream, whether it be on the playback later on at the conclusion of the stream, or if not, you can always catch us, as always, also on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and ShoutEngine.com. Matter of fact, at the conclusion of the stream, this will be available on iTunes and Stitcher. I'm going to get that happening and have it ready for you guys so you can download it to your mobile devices, your tablets, your laptops, what have you, by the time you wake up from bed, whatever. So, on your way to work, you wait to the gym, whether you're going out somewhere, you can listen to us talk for the hour that comes in or what have you. But that's that, of course. So, yeah, dude, I mean, a lot of things have happened this week in the world of professional wrestling. This Sunday, well, tomorrow technically, because right now it's Saturday, right? Ring of Honor is having their 13th anniversary pay-per-view show from Las Vegas, Nevada. A lot of things have also come out of Ring of Honor, which we're going to get into. But this is the pay-per-view card for this Sunday's, well, tomorrow's 13th anniversary show, Winner Takes All. That's what they're calling it, right? It's live from Las Vegas, Nevada, from the Orleans Hotel and Casino in Vegas, obviously. The card itself, on paper, it looks like a good card, all right? And yes, for those of you who are wondering, we're going to be reviewing this pay-per-view this Sunday at the conclusion of this pay-per-view at 11:30 Sunday on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. We'll take live calls as always there as well. But here's the card, if you will. Roderick Strong versus the Decade's BJ Whitmer. Should be a fun little match. They've had numerous matches in the past, so I'm sure this will be another fun match. I'm not saying this will open the show, but it should be a good match. I'm going to go with Roddy here. Okay?
But it could open the show, can't it?
It could open the show, but you never know. All right? You have a triple threat tag team match. Walter, I know you don't watch that much Ring of Honor. You're not that familiar with it, even though.
I mean, I know most of these wrestlers, though. Like, I don't have to watch the show, but I mostly know them now. Because that's the thing. Like, I don't think you have to watch their 1 hour show every week. I mean, it's cool if you do, but like, you kind of know most of the wrestlers. Like, I'm looking at the card too. Well, I looked at it earlier. Kind of know most of them by now, and the only problem is I probably won't know what they're feuding for. That's about it.
Yeah. Triple threat tag team match. You have The Addiction, formerly known as the Bad Influence, Christopher Daniels, Frankie Kazarian, versus the Kingdoms, Michael Bennett and Matt Taven, versus the Bullet Club, which is ironic because right now I am wearing a Bullet Club shirt, right?
Yeah.
What are the odds of that, right?
Yeah, but
What are the odds of that?
I don't think they're gonna win.
Don't say that. Doc Gallows and Machine Gun Carl Anderson. Should be a fun match. I honestly see the Kingdom winning. I do see it happening.
Oh, I'd be mad if they did.
It's whatever.
Make this a big show.
ODB with Mark Briscoe versus Maria Kanellis. Yeah, this is like the first women's match that we see in Ring of Honor in a long time, right? ODB, former TNA knockout, former TNA champion, against Maria Kanellis. I'm not saying that this is gonna be like the best match on the card, or but I guarantee you it's gonna be better than what you get on Raw.
Yeah, it's crazy, right? Like, ODB and Maria, like, you don't think that sounds like a good match at all, but it's probably going to be better than that 30-second match we saw on Raw.
It's funny because of what happened on Raw this past month, which we'll get into as well. They started this trend, give women, what was it again?
Give Divas a chance.
Give Divas a chance. There you go.
Because of
that
our
was the hashtag that was started. Yeah.
He said, "Give Truth a chance."
Yeah, give us a chance. Yeah. Give us a chance, people. Come on, give us a chance. Come on, people. Give us a chance. But anywho, from here, honestly, I see ODB winning. I do see it happening.
I think she should.
Okay. She should win, but
she's
again,
the newbie, basically.
I wouldn't go that far, but I
In
guess
ROH, she came back, so.
Yeah. We have this, what I'm looking forward to seeing. AJ Styles, the current IWGP Heavyweight Champion, versus ACH.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a huge match. This is probably ACH's biggest match of his career so far.
Hell yeah.
Don't sleep on ACH because the guy can definitely go out there and perform his ass off.
Yep.
Again, it's AJ Styles here, It's going to be a fun, phenomenal match, no pun intended. But I'm going to go with AJ Styles here.
Yeah, he's most likely going to win.
Most likely, yeah. Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championships. The rematch. It looks like, not even the rematch. It's like, what, the fifth time we're seeing this?
We've seen this so many times. But
every time we see it, though,
yeah,
it's better than the last one.
Yeah.
Red Dragon versus the Young Bucks.
People are going to mark out.
I know. I'd mark out.
Kicks, flips and kicks.
I would mark out. I would mark out if I was there.
Yeah. We've seen some of these matches live.
Didn't we mark out in New York when they went head at World of Worlds?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, in that same exact show, I was there. Like, they had matches with New Japan as well, right? So it's crazy, but it definitely has to be a good match. Probably match of the night.
I think so. It'd have to be, right?
It has to be, because I don't think the main event could be match of the night, to be honest.
You never know, bro.
To be completely honest.
Of course you have to be completely honest. What the hell?
Well, people mark out for the Young Bucks, so.
Of course they do. It's the Young Bucks, They're like the gods of the indies today. Super kick party completely,
They're always match of the night.
Of course, they always steal the show. Because they're the shit. They're the shit, But here I'm going to go with Red Dragon. I see them retaining the tag titles here.
Damn, they're winning again.
You think about it, in Japan, at one of the last pay-per-views that they had, the Young Bucks beat Red Dragon for the IWGP Junior Heavy. So,
I guess it's back and forth.
Yeah, it's been back and forth here. The TV title, you have Jay Lethal defending his championship with Truth Martini versus Alberto El Patron, formerly known as Alberto Del Rio.
What's that jobber?
Come on, you know who he is.
Alberto El Patron.
Alberto Del Rio.
Oh God! I mean, I think he fits well in ROH, to be honest.
Dude, have you seen what he's been doing on the Indies right now? Dude, he's killing it right now.
Yeah, right. Nah, I've seen his ROH match.
It's like if you watch him in WWE, you were like bored as fuck. I know I was. I was bored as fuck. And it is not his fault. It really isn't his fault. If you think about it, it's the way they booked him. It's always been Alberto Del Rio versus Dolph Ziggler, Del Rio versus Sheamus, Del Rio versus
just random ass matches.
That went nowhere. Like fuck, how many times do we have to see Sheamus versus Del Rio? How many times?
And they don't have good chemistry with each other. Two good wrestlers, but some people just can't, connect. And that was one of them.
Or Del Rio versus Zack Ryder, Del Rio versus Kofi.
God.
The only wins he'd have were against those two. Like what the fuck? Like
Ziggler, all those mid carders, but when he faced main eventers, he's a jobber. Well, I wouldn't go that far, but he wouldn't win any of those matches.
But I'm gonna go here with Jay Lethal.
Yeah, they probably got me.
Because I'm repping the 908. So,
oh my God! Actually, I wouldn't be surprised.
Hometown.
I wouldn't be surprised if he ate to Alberto, but he just came, so that'd be cool.
Of course, he'd be cool, dude.
I mean, he's not winning a main event title; it's winning a TV title.
Exactly, but we'll see here. Then we have the main event of high stakes 4-corner survival. It's pretty much elimination style match. You have Jay Briscoe defending the championship versus Unbreakable Michael Elgin, Sicilian Psychopath Tommaso Ciampa, and Warbeard Hansen. I'll be very honest here. I don't know why Hansen is in this match. I get it, the size and all that. I remember I said it too at Final Battle when we were leaving the venue. They're obviously going to push Hansen. They're going to give him a massive push sooner down the line, and here we are, literally
already February.
Technically it's March.
Oh, March. It's going to be March 1st.
Yeah, Sunday. 29th December, January. It's like literally 2 months. He's already in the main event, in that main event scene already. Is he ready? No, he's not. But the guy, from what he could, for a big guy, he can move. I'll give you that.
Not bad, but they're pushing him way too quicker than Roman Reigns.
Don't go there, bro.
Yeah, Roman Reigns has been in the company for 2 years.
It's crazy because Elgin did a video on the Ring of Honor YouTube channel with Nigel McGuinness. He said, how when you were the world champion, how did it feel when the fans turned on you? And I know it pissed you off and all that. Because in reality, yeah, they did. The fans turned on Nigel when he was a champion, right? And that's how he felt at the same time. And, he talked about how he's going to win the championship. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but then again, they're not going to give it to him. I really wouldn't be surprised. Listen, I'll be honest. It's one of those things where who I want to see win and who is likely to win. As in, I want to see Tommaso Ciampa get the win, but most likely I see Jay Briscoe retaining. I really do.
Well, he sounds like a robot right now.
Really?
I don't know if it's from my end, but...
Okay. A part of me wants to see Tommaso Ciampa get the win.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, though. It's just that you sound a little weird.
It happens. Don't worry about it.
Oh, there we go. You sound normal again. Yeah, I want him to win, too. Yeah.
But at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised if they give the win to they give the championship retain to Briscoe. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think Briscoe's going to retain this, to be honest.
You think so?
Because I don't feel like they don't know what to do with the world title, I feel like. And they don't know who to give it to, so...
What happens, it's right now Ring of Honor.
Yeah,
and
it's not
funny. It's not that it's not in a good shape right now. It's, again, they're lacking star power right now. You think about it, Adam Cole is out with an injury. He's not going to be coming back until June at least.
Fuck.
Kevin, Steen out. Kevin Owens is in NXT. Michael Bennett, Maria, they're about to be out the door soon as well because they're not even under contract right now. They need star power. Yeah, you have AJ Styles, but let's be honest, AJ Styles is more of a New Japan guy right now than he is Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
You know? But we'll see what happens there. We'll see what happens. You know? You know?
The fuck is that?
My mixer. Whatever. It is.
Oh, so yeah, basically all the bullet clubs are gonna be there.
Pretty much, yeah. All the bullet clubs are going to be there. Well, not all of them. Remember, some of the guys are
Most
still
of
Japan,
them. Yeah.
like Takahashi.
The American ones. The American bullet
Yeah.
club.
Pretty much, yeah. Most likely, Gallows, Styles, Anderson, the Young Bucks.
They're always
obviously.
there, though. What am I saying? Like,
They're always there. But, I mean, again, guys, it's a show not to really miss. I'll be tuning in. I know I will.
yeah, there's some good matches. I mean, even though the main event's not the best, they still got some good ones there.
I mean, it's not the best. It's the fact that, again, there's lacking star power there, you know?
Yeah, it feels like the battleground for Fatal 4-Way. Remember that match? Cena, Roman Reigns, Kane, and who else was there? Sheamus, I think?
I think it was, yeah. It was Sheamus, Roman, Bray. I think it was Bray Wyatt as well.
It was Bray? I thought it was Kane. Because when King was in this.
I think so, but
God,
whatever.
Cena.
But yeah, as you all know, last week we talked about Samoa Joe leaving.
Yeah.
We're still gonna stick with the Ring of Honor here, okay? Who would have thought, right? We're gonna talk about Ring of Honor here for a while.
Well, fuck it.
Fuck it, yeah. Again, you only live once. YOLO, right? This is where YOLO kicks in, people.
Yeah, ROH.
So there's been in ROH, Ring of Honor. So, it turns out, last week we talked about Samoa Joe leaving TNA, right? This news broke out. It went viral for days. Samoa Joe was trending Twitter for days, right?
Yeah.
And the talk was, where was he going to go? WWE, NXT, or was he going to go to New Japan Pro Wrestling or Ring of Honor? And what do you know? Literally, not even a week, right? Not even a week. Right? And the news came out that Samoa Joe is returning to Ring of Honor.
Oh, God.
No, but the thing is, though, he's going to be for limited dates, though.
Yeah.
He's scheduled to actually make an appearance this Sunday at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's why you gotta tune in, too.
And he's going to say a lot of stuff here. I don't know what the hell he's going to say, but he's also apparently booked for the March 27th show in California, and if you know what that show is, Super Card of Honor 9, which is literally, you know, their biggest show of the year because of WrestleMania weekend.
WrestleMania weekend.
So, damn, just to think about it right now, right? The moment you realize that in Ring of Honor right now you have Kazarian, you have AJ Styles, you have Christopher Daniels, and you have now Samoa Joe.
You got talent that TNA fucked over.
Nah,
Not fucked over, but they couldn't get the deals.
There was just some circumstances.
Yeah, basically.
It is crazy to think about. Now, again, the news, again, he's going to be part of Ring of Honor now, but there's also been talks now as well that WWE has been in talks with Samoa Joe.
Yeah, what the I feel like he's kind of old. Like, he's 36.
Now, again,
could have been good if he was a few younger.
Triple H is apparently a big fan of Samoa Joe's.
Yeah.
And so is Mick Foley, Stone Cold Steve Austin, William Regal, and they're all pretty much putting in the word. Now, again, it's up to Vince. We have an unknown number calling us right now. I don't know if pick up or not. I know it's going to happen here, so wherever you are. Yes, who's this?
Well, he's 36.
I knew it was an unknown caller. Whatever. But anywho, again, what we're talking about, though, it's one of those things where should he go to WWE? Honestly, why not at this point? I get it. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, too. The guy is a little old, you know. He's like, 30-something years old?
He's not even in his best shape.
I mean, neither is Chris Hero, but look what he's doing in
Well,
indies right
but
now.
that's why they kicked his ass out the door.
That is true. That is true as well. That is
I
true
mean, I
as
wouldn't
well.
mind it, I guess, but I don't think they'll do anything serious with him. Can you really? I think if
Here's
he
my
was just
take,
a
right?
few years younger. Yeah.
I just farted, by the way, but I don't care.
Oh my god.
I know. But here's my hypothesis, if you will, my thoughts. Okay,
Yeah.
you're gonna have fans that are gonna say, "Oh, Samoa Joe, don't go." Watch, you're gonna have on Twitter, right? People right at Samoa Joe, please don't go to WWE. We don't want you to go. Please, go here, go there. Please don't go. Please don't go. But then again, who the fuck are you guys to tell a wrestler where to go?
Hell yeah. If he could make more money on NXT, fuck it. Just do it.
Here's my take, though. Again, I think a lot of fans don't understand this, and I hate being repetitive here, but I think you know where I'm going to go with this. Okay?
Mm.
At the end of the day, I think a lot of fans don't realize that pro wrestling is a business.
Yeah, man. Just like any other sport.
It's like any other sport. It's a business. Yeah, athletes are passionate of the sport, but at the same time, hey, hello. For example, all right, LeBron James, right?
Yeah. Well,
LeBron James,
you could use Carmelo as a better example.
Carmelo Anthony,
Yeah.
LeBron James, Dwight Howard, right? Kobe,
Oh, definitely Kobe.
Derrick Rose. Oh, damn, never mind.
Oh, no.
Okay. All BS aside, but you kind of these names though, they all play because they love the sport, right? But at the same time, most of them have family, they got kids, they got bills to pay and all that, and they want to make the most money. And again, in pro wrestling, where do you make the most money? It happens to be in that company that everyone right now does not trust right now, and that's WWE. Am I correct or not?
Definitely. No other company can offer as much because, WWE is financially owns, well, financially is better.
And again, and I agree too. I see people say, oh, you should go to NXT, not WWE. I think you fuckers fail to realize that NXT and WWE is the same shit.
Same shit. And he wants to go to the main roster mostly because that's where you make the most money, not NXT. I know NXT's fun, and I know they treat you better there, but no, like, he's going to eventually go to the main roster. And if he can, then more power to him because he'll be making more money.
Exactly. I think a lot of people fail to realize that as well. That, again, that's where he's going to go. Again, we don't know if he is or not, but hey, if he does go, then so be it.
I wouldn't mind it, to be honest. I just wonder what they'll name him. Definitely won't be Samoa Joe.
And my PS4
Joey.
is turned off.
But they'll probably name him Joey or something.
Most likely.
Joey Sampson or some shit like that.
I did hear that. I did hear Joey Sampson or.
Really? Oh, I just guessed that shit.
I know you did. I know you did. But I've heard people say, "Oh, watch him name him that. Watch him shit on him. It's bullshit." You kind of get the idea.
Joey
right?
Samoe.
Joey Tsunami.
Samoe. I think
Okay,
someone
but again,
calls to that. Yeah.
on a serious note, though, again, if he does go, more power to him. Like I said,
Yeah. Like, why would people bitch? Oh, why are you going there? They're gonna water you down. Like, he doesn't care. He only cares about. Well, I'm not gonna say he only cares about the money, but more people. He wants. People want to get exposure. He does get exposure in the indies, but more people are gonna, see how he really just to see him. Because on NXT, you also get a lot of viewers in who have the network.
Exactly.
So.
I mean, again, listen, we don't know where he's going at the end of the day. I don't want to be that podcast, or we don't want to be that podcast like, oh, we know where he's going. And
Nah.
I mean,
Right now he's
listen,
in
right?
ROH.
For now he's on ROH
Yeah.
right now. Will he be there forever? We don't know. But we'll see what happens this Sunday with him at the 13th anniversary show. What is he gonna say? I'll be real, okay. If I'm Samoa Joe in Ring of Honor, and we have a caller right now, I'm going to pick up this call right now.
All right.
Caller 905, you're on the TEAMHEEL podcast. What's your name and where you're from?
What's up, guys? It's Spaz Phoenix.
What up, Spaz?
What's up?
I got the perfect gimmick for Samoa Joe. I sort of caught onto your show late, but I got the perfect gimmick for Samoa Joe in the WWE, as would be probably planned by Vince McMahon.
It's not some
Joey
stereotypical...
Uso.
Joey Uso.
Uso.
It could be. I mean, think about it.
Joey Uso.
They're all...
Oh, we got another Samoan guy. What are we doing with our Samoan guys right now? We're putting them in plastic pants and making them a tag team. So you get Jimmy, Jay, and Joey Uso, and they back up heel Roman Reigns.
Pretty much, yeah. Or if not, you form this Samoan clique, pretty much, right? If you think about it, all of them, some way, somehow, they're all related in some extent, right? Let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if where Samoa Joe fits in the mix, if he even does, but it would be funny if they finally did a faction based on the big extensive family tree of Roman Reigns and the Usos and brought in somebody that wasn't related.
Exactly. But, again, it's one of those things right now where a lot of people are wondering. Now, again, you know, people fail to realize that this is a business. You know, if he goes to the E, then so be it. Most likely the guy's going to go through NXT. Most likely.
And I love what you said before, because you said what I said a million times before I called, and this is another reason I called in. People are so desperate to shit on the WWE that they pretend NXT is a different company.
It's not a different company. I've seen YouTubers, you know, say, "Oh, NXT is this different thing from WWE." Well, you fuckers fail to realize that NXT is depending on WWE money.
Yeah.
They need that.
Oh, for sure, and it was created by WWE. It was created by Triple H, who basically encapsulates the WWE. But here's what I will say: NXT is, if I can go on a 2-minute tangent. Remember a million years ago? It seems like when they tried to do the brand extension, right? Tried to make it feel like Raw was a different company, SmackDown was a different company. Tried to make them like they had two completely different feels. NXT is a successful brand extension, because Raw and NXT feel different. Like, you got the fans saying WWE is different than NXT the same way they used to with WCW, ECW, etc. So what they should do, as opposed to NXT being a show, they should have WWE Raw and NXT SmackDown.
It could be. It really could be. Because remember, you know, then they tried to do it also with ECW. Well, their version of ECW, it was like, yeah, we'll have some original guy, but the reality is to pretty much a show to put over or get over the developmental guys that are coming up to the main roster pretty much, you know? Which
is funny, because ECW, while it was its own thing and it has its amazing place in history, nobody's going to take that away. A lot of people used ECW to springboard to WWE.
Exactly.
So you could say ECW was a developmental territory even in its original carnation.
It was. You know, even Ring of Honor in reality is a developmental, is the real developmental system for the WWE and TNA, pretty much.
They get their guys.
You look at the guys.
Well, TNA could be a developmental program for WWE if they were on the same page. I mean, can you see if there was a handshake between Dixie and Stephanie, for example, cross promotion, guys like Joe, guys like Bobby Roode, James Storm, and even if you send some guys that aren't being used in WWE right now down to TNA, it would only help them out.
I mean, it could be.
Look at what NXT is doing right now with V. Brian Kendrick and Rhino.
I mean, to my understanding, I mean, they're just there just to put over the young talent. I mean, it's not like they
for sure, but you could send unused WWE guys down there to put over TNA talent, and then they look great, and then when they get good enough, they can graduate to the big kids table.
The problem is with that, if you bring in these former WWE, because what I'm saying as well, the big thing with TNA is they bring in these former WWE guys,
that's why
they have them go over, you know, their own guys pretty much. It's like if I'm to bring.
Well, yeah, but that's what this is a different thing. Like freaking guys that have washed out of WWE and aren't there anymore. But like if they're there under the umbrella of, hey, we have a handshake between WWE and TNA, we have a whether you want to call it a talent exchange or whatever, then it looks like, hey, these guys are still legit WWE guys, and our TNA guys beat them. If somebody flunks out of WWE, goes to TNA and beats a former WWE guy, that's one thing. But if this is a guy that's still in WWE. If you sent Bryan Danielson down to TNA and he gets smoked by friggin' Eric Young looks like $1 million.
Pretty much.
Damn.
And I'm not just saying that because, Bryan's a little to me right now, but I'm just saying, somebody like him going down to TNA.
I think Chase said it best last week, the farm animal.
Farm animal. Back to the mid-card.
So you're saying him versus Eric Young? It would be like Bryan, or it would be Daniel Bryan versus TNA Daniel Bryan.
I wouldn't go that far. I mean, they're two different styles, obviously. I think.
Oh, for sure. But I just
styles.
when you draw the parallels between them, like, okay, not now that Eric Young's heel, obviously, but when they were face, they were doing very similar underdog type stories, and they mimic each other's facial hair and such.
I guess to an extent, I guess, but it could work. But then
Daniel Bryan's going to have a wicked ladder match at WrestleMania, though, and Eric Young is not going to be at WrestleMania.
I heard about that.
I think it's fantastic. If it's the people that I hear rumored that it's going to be a 5-way, that's Wade Barrett, Daniel Bryan, Dolph Ziggler, Dean Ambrose, and R-Truth. I mean, R-Truth is kind of a wild card sort of filler guy, but he could surprise you. I don't think we've ever seen R-Truth in a ladder match.
Hey, Spaz, has anyone ever told you that you have the voice similar to Mauro Ranallo?
Oh, the guy that used to, or the guy, he's like an MMA voice type guy, right?
You kind of have the similar to his voice, which is really good, by the way. But that's just me.
Fantastic. Well, I'll tell you something. If you see the advertising, I don't know how they go in the States, but the advertising breaks with Kyle Edwards that shows what WWE is going to what company at what time and all that sort of thing. Kyle Edwards, whose real name is Arda Ocal, and Mauro Ranallo used to host a show up here in Canada called Right After Wrestling, after Raw and SmackDown every week, along with Renee Paquette, a.k.a. Renee Young.
Yeah. I think on the score back in Canada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now known as Sportsnet 360. Yeah, now it's somebody else. Now it's former referee Jimmy Corderas and a couple of other people. Yeah. But yeah, I was a fan of Renee Young before she was Renee Young.
Yeah, but what I'm saying
hashtag Toronto boy.
Exactly. But again, the ladder match, like you just said, it could be good. I mean, again, it's a wicked match on paper, but also the same thing as well is them saying, yeah, you know what? We have nothing for Dolph. We have nothing for Barrett. We have nothing for Amber. We have nothing for these guys. It's just being lazy. Let's put them in a ladder match and boom, pretty much.
Okay, I do understand that, and I understand that it's lazy. It could be seen as lazy booking, same way as the Andre Battle Royal, same way as Money in the Bank back in the day could have had the same thing said to it. But, and I'm going to say this right now, I'm going to cheaply plug myself for a second. Go to youtube.com/SpazPhoenix. In the next couple of days, I'm going to be doing a video on this. It's basically reasons why we should love this match at WrestleMania. Because, like I said, those are the 5 guys that I think that are in it.
It's Barrett, Bryan, Ziggler, Truth,
and Ambrose.
Right?
Yes. Now, here's my thing, right? People want Ambrose pushed. He's got a secondary title shot at WrestleMania. That's a pretty good push. They want Ziggler to be pushed prominently. It's the IC title and not the world title, but he'll still go out there and look like fucking gold, especially in a ladder match where he can bump like a fiend. Daniel Bryan, people want in a feud. Daniel Bryan, people want to fight with Ziggler. Wade Barrett is there, and for our fans across the pond in the UK that complain that, guys from the UK don't get a fair shake, he's got a pretty substantial mid-card championship in a match that everybody loves. Everybody loves the ladder match that'll probably be in a pretty good spot at WrestleMania. So that's fantastic. And R-Truth, and this is the other thing too, as much as the UK fans complain that nobody ever gets a push, people complain all the time that, wrestlers in the WWE that aren't exactly white, shall we say, never get a push. R-Truth, who basically came out of nowhere, is probably going to be put in a ladder match, one of the most famous types of matches in wrestling, at WrestleMania, with 4 of the hottest talents in the company right now. So there's you can make a bullet list of all the reasons why this match should be the best thing on the card.
Probably open the show.
I mean, you never know. I mean, I'm not saying open the show. It'll probably be like the 3rd match on the card. 3rd match, but
mid card.
At the same time,
it could be I don't want to make bold proclamations a month out. This is the dark horse right now for match of the night.
It could, absolutely, it is. At the same time, you look at it too. Ambrose needs to win. You think about it, he does need a win on pay-per-view. He does need it. more than anybody right now.
He needs it more than anyone, yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Two.
Ambrose has to win, and everybody else in this match can afford to lose. Nobody expects R-Truth to lose, or R-Truth to win, rather. So him losing won't be nothing but a thing. People are sort of resigned to the fact that Wade Barrett doesn't get treated properly, which isn't okay, but whatever. And Bryan and Ziggler almost, and I say this almost because I don't want to sound vindictive, they almost look better in defeat than they do in victory. So it's all stacking up in Dean Ambrose's favor.
Yeah, again, he has to win. He has to. Now, again, you can have Bryan, you can have Ambrose win this match, and you can bring back. Then again, you're gonna need some work in bringing back that prestige to the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, this isn't really. I mean,
yeah, but this could definitely be the first. This could definitely be the first step. It's not nearly in the same realm. But John Cena fighting for the U.S. title. I don't care what you think about John Cena or the U.S. title. It makes the U.S. title look good.
I mean, again, to an extent, yes. Can you think about it, right? At Fastlane, that was the co-main event.
Yo.
Because John Cena. If this was a regular, let's say, for example, Santino versus fucking Swagger back in 2011 or 2012, this shit would have been the second match on the card or on the pre-show.
Oh, for sure. But it's John Cena. When was the last time John Cena was in a mid-card feud other than Bray Wyatt? And I don't even really count that because Bray Wyatt's amazing. But Rusev is legit mid-card. He's one of the hottest mid-carders right off of NXT that they have.
Now,
he's on a roll. He just rolled over Cena at Fastlane. And even if he loses, this is the argument I made last year for the Cena-Wyatt match. Wyatt lost. Okay, Cena wins, LOL. But Wyatt still looked like a beast. He's going to do the same thing for Rusev. This is why Cena doesn't bother me nearly as much as he used to.
I mean, hold up. Are you a fan of Bray Wyatt's character or just him as the performer? Because
I am a fan of all of it. Like, I think it's one of those things. Bray Wyatt is one of those few characters that you have out there that you can't really separate, the character from the build, from the ring psychology, because they all kind of mesh well together. It's I don't want to overstate and make it sound like I'm exaggerating, but it's kind of like The Undertaker. The Undertaker, the way he is in the ring, connects to the way he was built, connects to the way we see him. Bray Wyatt was a wrecking ball at last year's WrestleMania. He came out on the short end of the stick, which didn't hurt him because people already assumed that it was going to happen, but he looked better than people thought he would. I mean, people thought to even look strong against John Cena, he would need all his backup, and his backup was sent away early. And he took Cena pretty damn far. Now, did Cena, roll over and, job for him like people wanted him to? No. But, I mean, if he had jobbed to friggin' Wyatt last year, he wouldn't have nearly the steam he does this year to help out Rusev.
There is some truth to that. There is.
Yeah.
But
beating Cena is important. People ask me, I did a Q&A on my channel recently. It's like, what was CM Punk's greatest rivalry? And I mean, in ring, you want to say Daniel Bryan. But as far as the following, as far as the crowd being all swept up, it was it was Punk versus Cena.
2011.
Yeah, from there and everything that went on past that, because anything Punk and Cena did together was us versus the WWE. It was all the fans behind Punk, and the idea that WWE corporate structure and all that other bullshit is behind John Cena. So if CM Punk won, then we beat the company in the fans' eyes, and that was a really important, really unique aspect to it. So it's to the point now where every time Cena loses, we win. So they have to keep those few and far between so they feel special. Ziggler beating when he had AJ in his corner, beating John Cena at TLC in the ladder match was special. Daniel Bryan, although his title shot came out of nowhere, let me be clear on that, his title win over John Cena at SummerSlam was special. Because, we keep Brock Lesnar away because he's a spectacle, right? We keep John Cena losing away because it's a spectacle. I mean, should it be that way? No, but because of the way things are in 2015, John Cena losing is special to the point where John Cena losing will be a spectacle that happens at WrestleMania, and it won't take somebody like The Rock eventually. Like Dean Ambrose could destroy Cena at WrestleMania, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Now, I don't think the rematch will be a U.S. title match. It'll probably be like a non-title Because again,
No, I think because in the promo, Cena said he wanted a title match, so not wrong.
Yeah, they are going a bit cliche with the whole, before it was because they had a brush up after a Rumble. Now it's more of the cliche, you better watch what you say when you talk about America.
America.
Which is the only thing I don't like about it. I wish it was still like Rusev's still a young gun going for the biggest dog in the yard. Not to steal an Undertaker cliche there, but they have gone a little bit more towards the swagger, foreigners versus U.S. thing. I guess because it's easy.
Yeah,
and this is not good. This match isn't going to be at the forefront of WrestleMania. So I don't think they're going to pay attention to as much booking. When you've got Undertaker versus Wyatt and Sting versus Triple H and Lesnar versus Roman Reigns, which thanks to the fans needs all the help it can get, I think they're going to kind of drop the ball with this and go with what's easy, and that's the whole USA Russia thing.
Most likely, yeah. Most likely,
And you got to think that even like people are worried that Cena is going to win, and it's like, oh, they're going to destroy Rusev and whatnot, which is.
I think it's not. I think the way I look at it more, hey, listen, if I'm a pro wrestler, right? If I'm a pro wrestler, and you think about it right now, whether people like it or not, John Cena is the guy, the top dog in pro wrestling right now, right? Mainstream, right? Now, if I'm a pro wrestler, and if I'm coming up in the WWE, and it's my first WrestleMania. I'm competing in a match against the top guy in the company, and I lose. That goes on my resume. Hey, you know what? I had a WrestleMania match against the top guy.
You know what the perfect example is? And I don't want to compare Cena to The Undertaker, but I've heard a lot of people recently, like when the streak was still a thing, being like, oh, if I was an up-and-coming talent, I wouldn't want to face Taker at Mania because I know I'm going to lose. And that's bullshit. If you get to the point where it's like WWE is confident enough in your abilities that you're going to face The Undertaker at WrestleMania, the one day a year that Undertaker comes back to fight and WWE chooses you, shut the fuck up and take the paycheck.
Exactly.
Like, exactly. I don't see how losing to The Undertaker at WrestleMania, especially when that's the thing, is beneath you, especially if you're an up-and-coming guy. Like, fuck off.
Absolutely. I agree with that. Really,
and at this point, like, Cena is the number one guy. So even if he's not in the main event match, whatever he does at WrestleMania is huge. Whatever he does at WrestleMania will get billed, will get that John Cena spotlight. So you want to do that, or you want to have Rusev lose, or you want to have Rusev win in a match against Swagger again, where nobody could be paid to give a fuck.
Big E or Mark Henry, have him cry for America.
No.
Or The Big Show, remember that one?
Oh.
It's funny, right? You said a couple minutes ago that Bryan got his title shot out of nowhere. Now, I know there's a guy out there with dreads that look like Eddie Goodberger who would cry in tears if you were to say that. I'm not going to say his name, but I'm sure you know who I'm talking about.
Oh, it wouldn't be Deluxe Man, would it? Oh, I don't care. Boy has enough disrespect for me. I'll say his name.
You said Eddie Goodberger.
Kind of looks like Booker T and Whoopi Goldberg had an horrible offspring.
It's more like...
Kind of looks like, and I'm going to get called racist for this, I really don't give a shit, kind of looks like I could pick him up by his feet and mop my kitchen floor. Just putting that out there.
Damn. There you go.
I'm going to get your video flagged. I'm sorry, man.
It's all good. Don't worry about it, dude. It's about no one's right, no one's
wrong.
I don't understand.
Okay, I'm gonna say this for a second because I did a video this a while ago, right? I made a video shortly before Fastlane, and I went out of my way to say, look, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm not even going to take shots at, Deluxe Man, whoever, person X, Y, and Z. I just want to clarify my opinion. And I went on for about an hour explaining why I was cool with Roman Reigns winning the Rumble, why I was okay with Daniel Bryan not winning the Rumble, and why I hoped Roman Reigns won at Fastlane. And it's like, these are just the reasons for my opinion. Let me say, 102 times in a video, I'm not famous to offend anybody, but I'm the bad guy because I make the unpopular decision and I vote for Roman Reigns. Like, it's a thing.
I agree. And again, at the end of the day, no one's right, no one's wrong. Everyone has their opinion. I said it before as well. You know what? I'm happy that Reigns won the Rumble. I'm happy that he did.
I'm happy that we're not getting a triple threat match again.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Because here's the thing, and this is where people misunderstand me the most. I don't have any disrespect for Brian. Brian's one of the best ring workers they got in there. It's just what they've done with him in the past couple of years, the storyline and everything that's led up to this point, him being at WrestleMania wouldn't make sense. I didn't like the way he was booked last year either, but I'm a little bit more, I have less to work with from last year, right? But it's like, if we did the triple threat or whatever, we would have the same scenario as we did last year. We would have the champion, the rightful challenger, and Daniel Bryan for reasons.
Yep.
I don't even know what to say about that. It's like, it's not one of those, I don't want Daniel Bryan to succeed. It's like, have Daniel Bryan...
He already is.
But like, I mean, on a night-to-night basis.
There you go.
But like, have him succeed when I give a shit. I don't give a shit right now. He was thrown in the Rumble because he was away with an injury, because that's how you become a number one contender in the WWE. You get injured and come back. He came in, he no-sold everybody. Like, everybody's a big fan of Wyatt. He no-sold Wyatt, which just pissed me off. He got eliminated storyline-wise. Now I'm going with what makes sense in the story. He got eliminated early time in the Rumble, and basically he gets another shot at getting a number one contendership because he and his fans cry a lot and try to trap wrestlers in buildings and try to hold up the WWE for money. Like,
there you go.
I'm a little opinionated.
It's okay.
on the subject.
Again, you know, the point of view did not reflect that of the TEAMHEEL podcast. It reflects those of Spaz Phoenix. But again, everyone has their opinion.
You got to put a disclaimer when I call in. Is that what's going on?
I mean, hey, just in case, you know, hey, yo,
I'm one of the few guys that love. I'm one of the few guys that loved the fact that Miz got a Mania main event.
Hey, there you go. I mean, again, everyone has an opinion.
Yeah.
Everyone has. It's funny because, you know, the other day I was bored at work, right? I'm on YouTube, whatever. You know, when you go on YouTube, there's a part of it that says what to watch, right?
Yeah.
And I'm on it, whatever, and I happened to bump into Miz's promo from 2010 when he was the U.S. champion.
Yeah, he was pretty good, actually.
He did a promo, like, what, in 2010, like, before the Rumble, whatever. He starts from the locker room and he walks his way to the ring. And as he's walking, he imitates JBL and shit. To me, that was probably his best promo that I've seen him do.
Yeah.
Hands down. That was his best promo that he did, hands down, in my opinion.
He's a good
The only unfortunate thing about the Miz, and I know I'm talking about WrestleMania a couple of years ago now, is that although I was happy that my boy was in the main event, and yeah, Miz is one of my boys, it's a thing, but they screwed him every way they possibly could, because Miz, let's be honest, at the end of WrestleMania 27, Miz was an afterthought.
Yep.
Because the main focus from that point on was Cena versus The Rock, with The Rock's interference, etc. Right? But now think about this for a second. Miz, WWE champion, right? And point one. Point two, he's defending the title at WrestleMania. Point three, he's defending it in the main event. Point four, against John Cena. Point five, he's victorious. Put all those things together, that should have been the biggest rocket up his ass. But no, even though Cena lost, in the end, Cena wins, LOL.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the truth. We have a caller here. 903. We'll call you in a bit, so don't be upset if we didn't pick up the call. We will call you back in a bit.
Well, I think I've garnered enough heat for your show. I'm peacing out in a couple minutes, but I'll definitely still be listening, guys. Thanks for adding me to the conversation.
But before you go, though, you know, plug your Twitter, plug your channel, let the people know.
Anybody who wants to find me, anybody who wants to tell me how crazy I am, follow me at SpazPhoenix or at youtube.com/c/SpazPhoenix. Also Facebook.com/SpazPhoenix. And I'm not quite as much up on the social media as our common friend OKFabe, but I mean there's 3 or 4 places you can find me. So come and find me. Go anywhere and type in Spaz Phoenix. You will find me. I promise.
Exactly. You guys will go check them out. All right, bro.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, bro. That was Spaz Phoenix, guys. You guys go follow him at Spaz Phoenix. Go check out his videos. YouTube.com/Spaz Phoenix. Comment here from Alucard here. Fluke out of WWE. Why do we put WWE on a pedestal? Granted, it's the place where a guy-girl has the op to make the most money. Does anyone believe Fandango is making more money than Austin Aries because Fandango's in WWE? Don't fool yourselves. But leaving WWE isn't the end of a career. Sometimes things don't work out for people like the WWE style. Them going to New Japan or TNA shouldn't be looked down on. It's not just looked down on. I mean, again, if Grant, who knows right now? Because I don't know how much Fandango makes. I don't know how much Aries makes. That shouldn't be our business. But again, what is the creme de la creme in wrestling right now? It's WWE.
Well, yeah, we're not saying it's you suck because you got ROH or TNA. It's just because some people are like, oh, don't go to WWE. We want you here and stuff. But it's the wrestlers' decisions if they want to be in the WWE, because at the end of the day, like you said, it's fucking business. So
it is. It's a business. I think because we're fans, we view it the way that we do. But I guarantee you, if you're a wrestler in the business, and if you got a kid, you know what I'm saying? If you got a kid, you got whatever, a wife, a husband, or you got 3 kids, you try to put into college and all that, that WWE money would definitely be fucking, even if you're a guy who's being jobbed at like Zack Ryder. You know that WWE money right now, hey, it is what it is, right? But and you get more chubby, Steven. Settle down on that Peruvian food. Hey, I ain't get chubby, but I still get pussy, bro. It doesn't matter to me, bro. I'm eating Peruvian food. I'm eating a pussy, so it is what it is, bro. But I do feel you, though, and I am going to be taking care of myself soon. It's going to start getting warm outside, so once it does, I'm going to start hitting that workout, start getting back into fighting shape.
running.
So, yeah, exactly, dude. Don't get the game fucked up. I'll admit I've gained some weight. It's fucking winter time. Hibernation. Yeah. Hey, welcome to culinary school. Maybe because I got a haircut.
Oh yeah.
Because I got a haircut, and maybe I'm in color now. But again, welcome to culinary. Culinary school does that to you. You know what I'm saying? Culinary school does that to you, to an extent. But that's that, of course. But anywho, also news regarding Ring of Honor. There's been talk that apparently Ring of Honor has been in talks with Spike TV. Believe it or not.
What?
Yeah, apparently, there's been a report that came out a while back that Ring of Honor and Spike, they were in talks because obviously, but since TNA has been down to Destination America, Ring of Honor wants to make the attempt to be the number 2 company in America and all that. And there's been talk with Spike, and then there's rumors saying, oh, it's not true, then it is true. Apparently, these rumors are accurate now. They've been in talks now. This is my honest take on this, okay? I would have no problem with them going to Spike for the exposure. Granted, yes, you look at TNA when they were on Spike. Spike TV didn't give a fuck about them. Put it this way, Spike TV does not give a shit about pro wrestling. Apparently, what they want to do is have them on a Friday night once a month. Once a month. And what they're going to do is apparently play some of the best of episodes and shit. Or if not, once a month, but they're going to rotate throughout, the month with, Bellator, Glory Kickboxing, Al Heyman starting his own boxing promotion soon on Space TV as well, and also Ring of Honor. Now, again, I'll say it again. Spike TV does not give a shit about pro wrestling. They don't. If they do end up going, so be it. But at the same time, we don't know right now. We don't know if they're going to end up going there. But I just don't like the idea of it, because look what happened with TNA. They barely got promoted, and when they were on Spike TV, TNA was out there promoting Bellator, promoting Glory, promoting these,
But it has to be better than Sinclair.
I think Sinclair will still have part of it too. I think Sinclair will have some part of it as well, but we'll see what happens. But you know what? We're gonna take a call. Someone called in during the show. We're going to take their call right now. Hopefully they pick up here. I'm going to call them right now. Caller 903. So if you're by your phone right now, pick up because we're calling you. It's ringing.
Hello?
Yes, caller 903. You called a couple minutes ago on the TEAMHEEL podcast. You're now on the air. What's your name and where you from?
Oh, this is Weston from your last podcast.
Hey, what's up, Weston? What's up, bro?
Yeah, So did you guys watch TNA today?
Yeah, I actually saw it. I saw tonight's Impact. I thought overall it was a fun episode. I mean, again, it's easy to sit through, enjoyable, which we're actually going to review in a bit also. But overall, though, it was a fun show. Easy to sit
doesn't
through.
it feel like they need to change the lighting, in their
Yes, they
stadium
do.
or whatever? 'Cause
Absolutely.
that just screams go to sleep.
And not that, it's just the fact that I think it's not their thing. I think it's more of a Destination America suggestion, as in they're telling them, hey, we want you to be new, so we want you to do as well. Turn off the lights, just focus on the ring, pretty much.
Yeah, but they do need to fix that. And this kind of goes with the last caller's thing, what he said about Daniel Bryan. And it's not that, I'm a big Daniel Bryan fan. I'm probably his #1 fan, but it's not.
No, actually, I think the Lexman is #1 fan. But that's that, of course.
Yeah, but it's not that necessarily we want Daniel Bryan to win everything. It's just that we look at Daniel Bryan as kind of like a symbol of change. So it's like.
But wasn't CM Punk also change as well, though? Wasn't CM Punk also change? Don't people also view Ziggler as change as well?
Well, we view Daniel Bryan as like the front runner of that change. Like he's kind of like the main runner. Like we in our opinions were like old, which he kind of has in a way. Then like anybody can get a chance at the top. And when we cheer for Daniel Bryan, we don't just say the whole yes thing just for Daniel Bryan. We say yes as like, hey, that guy deserves a run at the top. And I think a lot of people, they misconcept, people for, Daniel Bryan fans for being like hardcore Daniel Bryan fans instead of fans who want change.
Exactly. Oh, here's a comment someone wrote. TNA King of the Mountain just wrote this comment. Let's be honest, DB is a wrestler, something Vince doesn't like. I don't get why people still complain Vince will do what he wants. Now, what the fans want. Yeah, he might give us a taste, but he ends up doing what he thinks we might like. But it's bullshit. The majority of the E fans don't want RR as face, which is Roman Reigns of the company, and for a good reason. Can't perform to top. And I agree with that. Is Roman Reigns ready? No. He's not ready.
No.
But at the same time, at the end of the day, the main event of WrestleMania, listen, we can complain, we can moan all we want. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, the WrestleMania main event is going to be Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like it or not.
I have low standards for that match.
Again, listen, put it this way, right? You can have low standards, that's fine. But who to say that match doesn't steal the show? You never know. Again, you never know. That's the thing about it. We just never know. For example, right? Put it this way. Let me give you guys a perfect example, okay? What's the most anticipated fight coming up right now?
Pacquiao Mayweather?
Exactly. And people are expected to be the fight of the century, right? Oh my God, this is going to be the fight, right? Now, who's to say on May 2nd they can end up having a boring fight?
Most likely might happen.
Yeah.
What happens then? What?
True.
People right now are crapping on Roman Reigns and Lesnar, but who to say they can end up having an amazing match? I'm not saying 5-star level like on a fucking Dave Meltzer Wrestling Observer bullshit, rating, but you kind of get where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
And I agree. Listen, people can change for whatever they want to. That's fine. You know what I mean? Everyone has their preference, which is good, But I find it also hilarious how there's people out there as well who I know, I'm friends with these people as well, that apparently canceled their plans for Mania because of what's happening. Which I think is complete.
Well,
put it this way, right?
That is kind of like ridiculous, but at the same time, it's also how like their favorites got eliminated. They got eliminated like a piece of crap. It's like, oh, you're in here.
Yeah.
Bye in 2 seconds.
Fucking sucked in that match.
And I agree. Now, Alaka wrote this comment. What happened to Bryan's title rematch due to losing the belt due to injury? And even if he got beaten for the belt, he should have got a rematch for the belt. Bryan versus Lesnar should have happened at Fastlane to get it out of the way. More like WrestleMania, because again, That's a match that you see at a big paper, not on some filler show.
Wrestling.
But you know,
Brian and what's his name? Rain should have been on a better pay-per-view too.
You know,
and for people that say Daniel Bryan isn't big enough to face Brock Lesnar, and I understand this is probably a bad example, but let's face it, Brock Lesnar is a pretty big guy, so pretty much everyone compared to him is pretty small.
Yeah, it is.
But look at guys like Frank Mir and Ken Velasquez. You know, let me just use like real fights for example. Those guys were actually small compared to Brock Lesnar, and they actually beat him up in real life.
Well, okay, yeah, Kane beat him. Kane
Velasquez.
Frank Mir got. Let's be honest. Frank Mir got lucky the first fight. That was luck.
Yeah.
Luck was luck. What happened at UFC 100? What happened?
That was ass beat.
Brock made Frank Mir his bitch.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Made him his bitch. But I do see what you're saying there. I mean, but we'll see what happens at WrestleMania. We'll see what happens. To all of you out there who canceled their plans for Mania, if you want to give your tickets out, give them to me. Give it to Walter. We'll take them.
Give it to me.
I'll go. Fuck. Hey, I'll call off for a week from work and go to California. You know, I'll rent a car at the Alamo and blast California love to be so stereotypical because I'm from the East Coast. You know. But what are you gonna say, brother?
The other thing is like people are so pissed they're not getting Sting versus Taker, but I think they're saving that match for Mania 32 next year because that's in Dallas, Texas.
Yeah, I think they are. I think that's the plan. That's to be like their final match.
That's going to be the better Mania.
Which, by the way, for a fact, Taker's winning that match. Taker's winning that match.
I think fans, they just go straight to complaining.
Taker's winning that match.
What, the Sting one?
Sting versus Sting. Yeah, Taker's winning that match.
Most likely.
It wouldn't shock me if Sting won.
I think Taker should win it. I mean, Sting's cool and all, but who's the loyal one? Taker, right?
Let me ask you a question, Weston. Are you watching UFC 184 tomorrow?
I'm not like a religious UFC like viewer. I like viewing the free fights. So no, but I mean.
Tomorrow's Ronda Rousey versus Kat Zingano, so that should be a good fight.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm just gonna view the pictures of the fight, if you know what I mean. But,
it's gonna be a 1 minute fight.
But yeah.
Yeah, tomorrow, literally the most anticipated women's fight in MMA history right now.
Really?
Women's MMA to an extent, yeah. Zingano versus Rousey. It should be a good card. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. But we'll see what happens with that.
Someone told me that Cain Velasquez has been UFC champion for like 2 years now. Is that true or not?
I haven't really kept track of that, to be honest with you. I don't want to say something and lie. You know what I mean?
Like
it feels like it, yeah, because he won the belt. I think, in 2013 he won the championship back from Junior Dos Santos.
Yeah.
The thing is, he's just been out with injury, Like, he was supposed to fight Verdum in Mexico, a couple months ago. That was supposed to be the main event in Mexico, Kane versus Verdum, but instead we had Mark Hunt versus Verdum for the interim championship. Supposedly they're going to be fighting, I think, somewhere at the end of the summer for the championship in Mexico, which I think should be a good fight. I think, honestly, if that fight is, in my opinion, I see Kane winning it. I don't see Verdum getting out of the third round, to be honest. Nothing against Verdum. My thing with Verdum is, yeah, he's a good fighter, but I personally can't be a fan of his. I really can't because he beat Fedor. And I'm a big Mark Fedor Emelianenko. And I gotta stick to my allegiance here,
How awesome do you think it would be if, and I don't think this will ever happen, not in a million years, but how awesome do you think it would be if it's possible Dana White signs Brock Lesnar, but he also signs Paul Heyman along with him?
In a fantasy world, I guess. But the problem is, though, you gotta remember, we're talking about MMA here, which is a sport.
I know.
You don't, for example, you don't have, for example, Canelo Alvarez coming out with the mouthpiece, the guy who's his manager doing promos for him.
Translator, that's it.
You see build-ups, you see that, but it could be. But then again, in a reality-based thing, I don't see it happening. They'll sign Brock, but I don't see them signing Paul.
I've seen like MMA, not steal, but like borrow stuff from pro wrestling. Like, I think it was like a year ago, or whatever. Like, it was on Bellator when everybody got so pissed on Twitter, or whatever, when Tito Ortiz did this thing or whatever with Belfort, whatever his name is. Stephen Bonner, that's his name.
Yes.
Everyone just went like.
That's where, for me, the decline for Bellator just dropped. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some good fighters there, like Joe Warren, Pat Curran, Michael Chandler, who else? Fucking Newton, I think he's the heavyweight champion right now, whatever. Shlemenko, but I really can't get behind Bellator. Nothing. It's just the fact for some of their decisions that they've made. For example, you know, they've promoted this fight coming up. I think in a couple of months is going to be Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock. Laugh at that.
Those guys like at least in their 40s.
Fuck.
And Ken Shamrock's in his 50s. He signed a multi-year deal with Bellator.
Kimbo Slice.
Yeah, he's older than I thought.
Yeah, he's in his 50s. And again, listen, I've always been a fan of Ken Shamrock. Don't get me wrong. But it's like one of those things is like, really?
Yeah. I know Kimbo Slice is really old. That dude's like 40.
He's like, yeah, he's in his 40s going.
It's a main event match, not main event fight.
I can't get behind. I'm sorry. This is why again. This is the reason why I can't get behind Bellator. I really can't. It's why like when I hear people say about Bellator, I'm like, what the fuck? Hell no. You know.
That's crazy.
Like 5 or 6 years ago, that main event probably would have, you know, sold tickets and everything like that. But now
it probably would have. But the fact is, though, you got to remember, even back 6 years ago, what have you, or 5 years ago, or not even, yeah, like 5 years ago, right? Ken Shamrock even he had a glass jaw. He had a glass jaw, and Kimbo was knocking people's heads off left and right. But remember, he was fighting scrubs on the internet. He was fighting scrubs.
Yeah.
You know.
Smart.
I remember I saw this video back in like 2007. It's a fight he had in Miami, like in the hood, ever, right? Back when he was doing his hood fighting, right, on the internet. Yeah. And the guy he fought, at the end of the fight, the guy's eyeball came out of the socket. Literally was hanging here and shit.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, you know, look, and again, and then the news came out after that. Oh, he's gonna be on the Ultimate Fight. I saw an Elite XC fight. He fought Tank Abbott. He fought some other guy, and you know, he has some momentum. But then he fought Seth Petroselli. And look what happened to him. He got dropped in like 10 seconds, and that was apparently a setup fight. And look what happened. He went to the UFC on the Ultimate Fighter, and the rest is history, pretty much, right?
And I know this is a short list, but which fighters that are in pro wrestling do you think that UFC really missed the ball that could have been like really big in UFC?
Bro. First, one thing you should know: this is a podcast. We talk wrestling and combat sports. So repeat your question again. I didn't even cut you off.
I said what wrestlers, like, you know, like for example, I think RVD could have been a great UFC fighter if given the chance. I mean,
MMA fighter?
Well, you know, back when, you know, he was young and all that.
Well, remember, MMA is the sport. MMA is the sport. Yeah. The UFC is an organization. It's like me calling a wrestler, it's like me calling, let's say, Johnny Gargano wrestling on the Indies. Oh, he's a WWE wrestler. You know, or...
That's
what not to think about that.
That's what person who doesn't watch wrestling would say.
Who I think would... All right, so repeat your question again. I'm sorry. Repeat it again. Repeat it again.
Which wrestlers in pro wrestling do you think could have at least had like a decent career in UFC
or MMA today?
Yeah, or just MMA in general.
Today, I would say low key. I would say as well Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan, like a lightweight, middleweight, more like lightweight or featherweight.
Yeah.
Who else here?
Simone Joe.
Kyle O'Reilly.
Oh, I didn't know he trained.
Bobby Fish, who is actually an amateur fighter as well, outside of pro wrestling. Fergal Devitt, obviously Finn Balor. For those of you who don't know, you know. Punk, obviously. Then again, we gotta wait for Punk. We gotta see what happens with him when he fights.
Oh, no.
Whenever he's fighting. Samoa Joe, I mean, he had to drop down weight. I mean, he could probably fight a heavyweight Then again, I can see him fighting at middleweight, but he has to cut down hella weight.
That's a lot of weight.
It's a lot we have to cut down, but it could be though. It could be Pancreas maybe, but you never know.
And what are your predictions for next season in the NFL? Like,
well, I'm not the NFL guy here, but the guy who I'm with here, non-legit wrestling. Knowledge. So ask it to him. Ask him the question. He's on here right now with me right now.
Yeah.
all right.
Ask
What
him
are
the
your
question.
predictions? Is he on?
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah,
He's right here with me.
yeah, I'm here.
All right. What are your predictions for the NFL season, and what do you think about the rumors about Peyton Manning? Well, at least they were rumors at the beginning of him possibly retiring.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I would assume that Peyton Manning, they probably he should consider retirement because he wasn't looking good toward the end of that last season, especially the Colts game. But if he wants to play, let him play. He's still on their contract, so I think it's fine for him to play another season. I don't know if the Broncos will go far, but with a new coach, anything can happen. And as for our predictions, I still think the Seahawks will still be good if they have only Marshawn Lynch. If they don't get him back, then they're kind of fucked. As for, I think the Patriots could still do good. I don't think they'll win a Super Bowl again. I don't know any surprise teams that'll do good. It's kind of hard to tell because the draft didn't happen yet. I'm just hoping that my Giants will get better. I think they'll get better. They have to get better or else everything is just, to me, a failure because their draft wasn't that bad, and now they're gonna have all their pieces back because Giants just had a lot of injuries last season. One of the reasons why they sucked. So.
Well, of course, you want your Giants to win. Put your heads in shame.
Yeah, everything needs to get better though.
Let's hope so for your sake.
And one more question before I go, because I don't want to be holding somebody back on that really wants to call into the show.
It's all good, brother. It's all good.
I always think this is fun when podcasts do this. I was thinking, why don't you two guys make like a predictions about what's gonna happen at WrestleMania, and then make a bet.
Well, you got to remember, me and Knowledge of Wrestling, we would do that, but we live in different states. So it's like, if you're going to talk like money-wise and all that, I mean, it could be. Bro, put it this way, right? WrestleMania is literally a month away from now, so never say never. Never say never.
It's literally.
We got to think about it, come up with what we're going to do here. Because, again, let's put it this way, right? Anybody can bet money, right? Let's be real here.
Yeah.
But that's like the most overplayed thing here, right?
Even sports.
Yeah, exactly, But again, brother, never say never. It could happen. Just never know. Just never know.
All right. And I can yammer on about wrestling forever.
So can we, bro. So can we, believe it or not. So can we. But before you go, though, do you want to promote your YouTube, your Twitter, if you have any, your social media, so the people out there can follow you, can subscribe to you, can check you out? The floor is yours, brother.
I just made an Instagram.
Made an Instagram. Ooh.
I just put like funny wrestling memes. That's about it. But follow me, ECW Fan 42.
ECW Fan 42. That's right. You guys follow him now on Instagram at ECW Fan 42 on Instagram, which I just followed you right now. So you got to follow from me.
Sweet.
There you go. So Heel Steven now follows you, ECW Fan 42. So go follow him on Instagram, guys. ECW Fan 42. All together, guys. Just follow him on Instagram, all right? Show him some love and tell him that the TEAMHEEL podcast sent you there. All right, Weston, we'll talk to you soon, all right, brother? Thank you for calling in.
All right.
That was Weston, bro. I mean, again, we thank all of you for calling in. One thing, we thank you all for calling in, all right? It means a lot to us, But let's move on here. But again, back with this whole Ring of Honor thing with Spike TV. If it happens, it happens. Do I want to see it happen? No, because again, Spike doesn't give a fuck about wrestling. But that's that, of course. Now, moving on here, there's been this talk as well that Brock Lesnar walked out. This past Monday on Raw, he walked out during Raw was on the air. Now, there's rumors going around that apparently Roman Reigns failed the drug test, whatever.
Mm.
You heard about this, right?
Yeah, I heard about that.
And a lot of people were like, what the fuck? How can this be? Apparently, those were false. It's not really accurate, if you will. Apparently, the
People just want
reason
him
is
to
because
fail.
people just want him to fail. Let's be real. People want him to fail. People, don't be surprised if Shamrock takes down Kimbo. Most likely, he will take down Kimbo. Most likely, he will take him down. Let's be honest. Can Kimbo's legs fight off his back? Hell no. Funniest fight from YouTube was when Kimbo almost lost against a cop. LOL. Say hi, Eric. We better be going to that wrestling Legends of the Ring in June.
You really want to go to that show? They're all washed up people.
I mean, here's the thing about it, right? It's like going to WrestleCon almost. You know what I mean? Like, let's be real. We didn't go to WrestleCon. They came here. We didn't go.
Didn't.
That was like, and we've talked about this all the time. That's been our biggest regret, right, from WrestleMania weekend, not going to WrestleCon. So why not, right? Like,
oh, is this just gonna be like signings, not even wrestling there?
No, they're gonna be also a show. Like at the end of all the signings are done, they're gonna be like a wrestling show.
Oh wow!
It's apparently it's in Citi Field. It's in the new Met Stadium, pretty much.
Isn't that in Queens?
Yeah, it's in the new Met Stadium, pretty much. Now, mind you, I'm not a Mets fan.
I'm not a Mets fan either. Why would they do it there?
Now, if I do go to that show, I'm wearing a fucking Yankee fit. I don't
wear
give
my
a fuck.
Yankees. I'm wearing Yankees everything. Fuck that.
Right. I'm wearing a shirt. Got rings. Got rings.
That's fucked up.
Got rings.
God. Now you gotta remind us that World Series. Was it the 2000? Yankees being the Mets.
2000 actually.
Yeah, the 2000 one, yep. The 2000 World Series.
Back to this Brock Lesnar debacle, though, right now. Apparently, the reason why he walked out, is because of negotiations right now between WWE and Brock. So it turns out that Brock and WWE, they're trying to negotiate a new deal. Right?
It's not working out.
And in this new deal, Brock wants to do both WWE and MMA, in this case being the UFC. And something's going on where I think WWE's not going to allow him to do UFC, which I understand, because again, who to say if in a fight he breaks an eye, he breaks an arm, you know what I mean? I understand that part. And Brock is furious, and he walked out, just PO'd as hell. Again, things can be resolved. But when I hear this, it's like, do I want to see Brock back in the UFC? Honestly, no, I don't. I don't want to see him fight back. Again, listen, he was an amateur wrestler, NCAA champion, all you want, fine. But let's be real here, though. Brock Lesnar is a glass jaw fighter. He showed that in the Shane Carwin fight. He showed that in the Cain Velasquez fight, and he showed that in his final fight against Alistair Overeem. The guy's a glass jaw fighter. If you put offense on him, he's gonna be weak. He's gonna crack. You know, that's reality here, people. Come on, let's be fucking real here. You know. But if it does happen, it does happen. You know. What do you think about this, bro?
I mean, wow. Yeah, I don't mind seeing the UFC again. I think it'll still bring more eyeballs. You know, if Punk's gonna bring eyeballs, obviously Lesnar would. So honestly, I think this could probably get resolved. I don't even want to see Lesnar. I mean, it's crazy, like, because if Lesnar still stays with the WWE, what can he really do? Because most of his run was just against veterans, and I guess that's cool and all, but shouldn't he be putting over some young talent? Like, Roman Reigns is probably the only one to benefit facing Lesnar.
Yeah. But we'll see what happens. Guys, drop your comments down below what your thoughts on this whole Brock Lesnar debacle. What do you think will happen? Drop your comments down below. If you're not, call in and we'll shoot the shit with you for a little bit. Just like Spaz did, just like, Weston did. So call in, guys, if you want. The number's on the screen. 718-473-0813 is toll free, guys. Shoot the shit with us. Call in. But TNA Impact this week was from Manchester, England. I thought overall, like I said, it was a fun show, enjoyable for what it was, easy to sit through. All right. It kicks off with Kurt Angle. He calls out Bobby Lashley. He calls him out because he's upset that last week, in that match that where he was in that gauntlet, the BDC, the Beatdown Clan, came out and they attacked him, whatever, but Lashley didn't do anything about it.
Wow.
And he's furious about it. He's pissed off, right? And pretty much what happens here is, he calls out Lashley, and Lashley comes out. Lashley comes out, and, he said, what, pretty much that's not my fight, that's your fight. And when I'm fighting the BDC, because, again, tonight's main event was MVP versus Lashley. That was the main event of the show.
Yeah.
And the thing was, he's like, you know what? Just watched two Kimbo Slice UFC fights, and both times he lost by the dude's kicking out his leg. What the? Of course. I'm happy that you are watching the show. You're special to me. She knows who she is, but that's around the point. Anywho, back to TNA though here, okay? So, that was that pretty much. Is goodbye and fuck. Western Florida. What I was gonna say is goodbye and fuck Roman Reigns. Just kidding. LOL. Hey, you be nice to Cockfist, okay? Cockfist, baby.
Cockfist, you can't fuck with him.
I got my hand taped up. Cockfist.
Roman Reigns.
So yeah, I mean that was the thing though. Pretty much, it was short and sweet to the point. Pretty much, Black was saying, "I don't need your help. I can play this on my own," and there you go, right? So then we had the first match of the night: EC3 and Tyrus versus Anderson and Spud. A short match, and they didn't go long, but Anderson and Spud got the win. And it seemed like, because here's the thing about it, right? They had this objective where they're trying to shave EC3. They're trying to shave EC3 bald, right? That's pretty much what's going to be the big payoff of this feud. Which I really, really? But it is what it is. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Having someone's head shaved is the most played out thing in professional wrestling.
Yeah, but they're just, that's basically the storyline, right? Just trying to shave his head, fuck.
Yeah, but then again, though, I mean, we'll see what happens, okay? But, somewhere down the line, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. You know what I mean?
And it's weird, because it's the heel who wants to shave the face. Wasn't it always, the face?
No, it's always it's always the heels, I don't even
trying to protect their hair. In NXT, they just did this, a few months ago.
But then again, it's different. We're not trying to compare to NXT.
I'm not, but I'm saying that's basically the hair storyline. What's it? One of the what's that stupid tag team? Yeah, he was trying to avoid getting his hair cut.
Oh yeah, fucking the French dude.
And, the French dude, and from
Enzo Amore,
yeah.
That's where they debuted Carmella and all that, but
basically that's what EC3 and Rockstar Spud are doing, except it's reversed. Well, it's not. It's not like them, obviously, because it's a one-on-one. Well, yeah, pretty much a one-on-one feud, but yeah, the heel is trying to cut the face's hair. I don't know.
Exactly. But then again, after this, we had Taryn Terrell in the ring. She cuts a promo pretty much saying, you know what? I respect every woman here, everyone that comes on here that busts their ass in that locker room, and I'm the Knockouts champion. And you know what? I am proud to be champion, but I want to fight Awesome Kong. So Awesome Kong, if you want this belt, come and get it. And out comes Gail Kim, and Gail Kim tries to convince her, you know what? That's something you don't want to do. Think about it. Do you really want to, risk it all by fighting Kong? And Taryn's like, no, I want to do it. I respect you, Gail Kim, but I want to fight. This is my fight. I'm ready for this. And Gail Kim walks away, and out of nowhere, the lights go off. Out comes Kong, and Taryn tries to attack her. She gets some offense on her. So she does a couple clotheslines, gets on the turnbuckle, does a drop kick, and Kong doesn't go down. until again Kong hits with the implant buster and holds the belt and just walks away. Pretty much down the line, they're gonna do Kong versus Terrence Terrell. Is it a match that I want to see? As far as it being new, because again, it's something new. I don't mind it, but I'll say this: Terrence Terrell is on a roll right now. She's on a roll.
It's pretty much champ.
It's
beat almost everybody.
When you think about it, it's totally fresh, totally different compared to what you see on Raw.
Oh yeah.
That 30-second match, whatever.
Sure,
Exactly. You know, but I would love to see more women though. I really would in TNA. You know, Kaylee Ray, I think, would be an awesome asset to the Knockouts roster. Who was the other girl from British Book? I forgot her name. But she's the girl from Scotland. Again, I apologize if I botched her name, but it is what it is here, okay? Kimberly, that's not her, obviously, but I'm just dropping names here right now. Veda Scott, Mia Yim. Names, I think, women that could definitely help increase this roster. You know what I'm saying? But that's that, of course. But that was that. And then after we had a backstage segment with Austin Aries walking out to the ring, saying that, you know what? I have this briefcase, and today I'll make history. I'm going to cash it in. Teasing it almost, but again, you never know, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Exactly.
Like, what happened? So that's it? He just cut a promo?
Yeah, behind backstage, walking to the ring,
Oh.
saying, you know, I might cash it tonight. You never know. Angelina Love and Robbie E versus Brooke Tessmacher and Chris Melendez. It was whatever match. They didn't go long, but ended up with Robbie E pinning Brooke, and there you go.
What?
Yeah.
That's the only storyline that I probably don't like in TNA right now.
Yeah, whatever. Pretty much, it is what it is, right? Pretty much, right? Sarge was barely featured. They're calling this guy Sarge, and I understand he was in the military, but the guy was barely featured, right?
In the match?
Exactly. Yeah, he was barely featured in this match. But it is what it is. I'll say that selfie that they're doing is funny as shit, though.
A selfie stick?
Yeah. EC3 and Spud, they're backstage, whatever, and Carter trying to shave Spud's head to no avail because Anderson finds him in the locker room and he attacks him. They're about to shave his head. They're about to shave EC3's head, but Tyrus comes in and makes the save pretty much. So, again, like I'm saying, you know, the big payoff eventually is EC3 getting his head shaved by Rockstar Spud. Okay?
Oh, it's EC3?
Yeah, that's the payoff. Him getting his head shaved by Spud. That's the payoff eventually. I guarantee it, okay?
You think that is?
Dude, come on. Let's not kid ourselves here,
So
okay?
it's not the face getting his head shaved.
Nah, they're trying to shave.
It would be the opposite.
Yeah.
Oh, EC3 Bull, I don't want to see that.
Exactly. But after this, we had Austin Aries in the ring. He's cutting a promo saying that, you know what, he's ready to cash in tonight. He's going to do it. Out comes Samoa Joe, saying that he's not going to do it. Aries pretty much insults him pretty much. Like, you know, what happened to you? You became pretty much MVP's lapdog. What's wrong with you? The Samoa Joe that I used to know used to be a fighter, someone that takes orders from nobody. And the crowd chanting, "You sold out, you sold out, you sold out," literally. And they have a match. A match there that it was a fun match, probably the best match on the night, if you ask me. The best match on the show, in my opinion, right? Because again, it's Austin Aries, Samoa Joe, right? And ends up with Aries getting the win and then getting his ass beat by the BDC.
Oh my god. Samoa Joe still on TNA.
Technically on TV.
Technically.
Rampage Brown versus Noam Dar.
Wow.
These are the guys they're from British Boot Camp.
Yeah.
From British Boot Camp. I mean, they're cool guys. I'm a big fan of Noam Dar. I've said it numerous times. Or if you go on YouTube, there's a match between him and Davey Richard, but Noam Dar was only 19 years old.
Damn, that's my age.
From Southside. And they were killing it. The guy was killing it in the match, but that's me, of course. But they had a short little match, and they didn't go long because Bram comes out, and he attacks them both, calling out Magnus, right? Magnus, right?
Yeah.
And Grado comes out. Grado, and I marked out like,
oh my god, again.
Yeah, I'm a fan of the guy, dude.
They're featuring like crazy.
Remember, they're in the UK.
Yeah, he's over. That's the funny part.
Yeah, he's over as shit.
What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Imagine if
Take
he
it
won
to
the
the
world title.
States. He wouldn't
You know
be
what's
over.
funny, right? You know what's funny, yo? What I found out
What?
about Grado?
What?
That's actually him in real life.
I think that's him. Like his gimmick is him.
No. As in, like, if you were to see him on the street, you would see him literally in his wrestling gear.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
He
and
told me that.
the fanny pack. Just imagine, right? If you have career day, right, in school,
Oh
and, like,
my
and that's your pops, whatever, and he
That's
comes
my
out in his
dad.
wrestling, he's in his wrestling gear, his
Yeah,
fanny
it was
pack,
like,
and a
what the
snapback.
fuck?
You know, people would say I look like Grado. I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, he
Nah.
a snapback maybe, but that's around the point, folks. That's around the point. Let me ask y'all a question. If I made a shirt that said that's around the point, would y'all buy it?
Probably everyone should buy it.
If we made a shirt similar to this, but it says Team Heel on it, would you guys buy it?
Yeah, you guys have to buy it. Must buy. It's best for business.
If we made a shirt that said Cock Fist Ready,
Cock Fist ready.
would you buy it? Would you buy the shirt? Let us know down below in the comment
That's
section.
pro wrestling tees quality.
Let us know, guys. Let us know. Comments here that says, does anyone else think Grado is the love child of Kevin James and ODB?
Oh my god.
Alaka writes, yeah, I don't think EC3 is getting his head shaved. Universal Studio tapings. Well, we'll see what happens there.
Spoilers.
I don't know. I don't know what the hell he's talking about. All right, but that's around the point, folks. But yeah, I mean, that was that, though. I mean, Grado comes out, and obviously Brem attacks him, too. You know. And then we get the main event. MVP versus Bobby Lashley for the world title. It's an okay match, okay? It didn't go long, but for what it was watchable, okay? They obviously have a ref bump, because, you know, again, any TNA world title match, there has to be a ref bump, right? The ref bump. The BDC comes out to attack Lashley, whatever. Gunner comes out to attack for the help, whatever, to no avail because he gets attacked too. Come on, man. Come on. All right.
I'm sorry. I don't care for Gunner.
No, you don't. Also here, right? What's his name? Eric Young comes out. Eric Young comes out to attack, pretty much, to attack Gunner. Bobby Roode makes a save as well. And just when it seems that, because again, the referee was down, they're checking on the referee, and it seemed like, hey, you know what? Was it MVP had like what? I think a steel chair or a pipe, whatever.
Yeah.
He had a chair. What was it? Let me see here. Fuck.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he had a chair. I bet he had a chair on him, and it seemed like he was about to hit him with it. He was about to hit him, and out of nowhere, Drew Galloway, formerly known as Drew McIntyre, comes out for the save, and Lashley gets the spear for the win. So there you go. That's Impact. Next week is going to be a triple threat match. I believe it's going to be Bobby Roode, Kurt Angle, I think also Austin Aries. I think it's those three. I think that's it, right? Next week. That's for the... Let me check here real quick. I'm sorry, guys. And again...
That's pretty cool. Well, for the world title? Wait.
No. It's not that. It's a number one contenders match.
Oh, we all know who's going to win that.
Yeah, we know who's gonna win that.
I mean, what's going to happen after that, and that's where...
Next week is Eric Young, Bobby Roode, and Angle. Winners a shot at Bobby Lashley. You know what's happening here. I'm not gonna say it.
Even without the spoilers, just look at the wrestlers in the fucking ring. Eric Young, Bobby Roode, they have a fucking feud against each other. Which leaves the odd man out.
The comment here is crazy.
What?
Nah, I would buy the wrestling bear.
Oh my god.
Well, he's not here right now. So
I would
okay.
never buy that shit. Why would we ever
But if
sell
Brock
that?
does both MMA and WWE, he would have to adapt to both styles quickly. It could be. I mean, again, if we made these shirts, would y'all buy it? That's the question we ask all of you. You know? But yeah, bro, I mean, it's crazy, dude. It's crazy. This Sunday is Ring of Honor 13th anniversary show, which we'll be reviewing on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteve. We'll be taking calls as well. If you guys want to call in now. The number's on the screen. 718-473-0813. Shoot the shit with us for a little bit. And that's all. But again, dude, this whole debacle, I think yesterday or the day before, about this dress.
Oh yeah, apparently I am wearing a gold shirt, or a white shirt, I should say.
Apparently I'm wearing a yellow tee right now.
They're wearing gold.
I'm wearing gold right now, apparently.
Gold and white hat. This is a gold and white hat.
Really?
Yeah.
Stupid. I don't know. Listen, this is society as we know it. Society is talking about a dress now, really.
A dress because of their colors. They're tricking people saying it's white and gold. It's blue and black, which should be your initial reaction. It's just that because of the lighting, they want you to look closely. And it shows like a white, the blue looks a little white because of the lighting, and the black kind of looks goldish because of the lighting. Because of a fucking light, it's white and gold. Take out the lighting, just put it like in the daytime, outside, it's blue and black.
Western Racer, Tarantulas boobs scream, fuck me, and I would with happiness. Who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't, right? Who wouldn't? Again, who wouldn't?
True, Galloway.
Come on, really?
They're in the same company now. How weird is that?
I know, but hey, it is what it is, right? What else? So later on tonight, especially Saturday, where we're at right now, is UFC 184 main event. Like I said, Ronda Rousey versus Kat Zingano for the women's bantamweight title. The co-main event is Molly Holm versus Raquel Pennington.
So 2 female fights.
Yeah, main event and co-main event. So I'll be honest, it's not the most stacked card, but the Ronda Rousey versus Kat Zingano has my attention. I think stylistically, yeah, it is one of the biggest female fights you can make right now. Okay, Kat Zingano's a beast, so is Ronda. It's kind of one of those things where, yeah, it's gonna be a close fight. A part of me wants to see Kat win, but then again, I'm gonna go with Ronda. I think Ronda's gonna win this. I'd say, if anything, by round 4, or not by decision.
Oh,
dude, it's a tough fight.
I know. I seen the other female because I was reading like an article or something saying that how she thinks she could pull an upset. All the Rousey fights I saw, they're all like short, most of them.
Because she's a beast, bro.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's the only fighter to have her fight be on Instagram.
I did see that. Right? Yep. Maybe I'll give it 2 rounds.
I'll give it 4.
Rousey wins by submission.
Yeah, the arm bar, right?
Yeah.
The arm bar. But we'll see what happens, guys. If you guys want to call in, the number's on the screen, 718-473-0813. Call in, shoot the shit with us, and talk about whatever we want, or whatever you want to talk about. Just, wrestling, combat sports, whatever. We'll shoot the shit with you for a little bit. But knowledge of wrestling, I'm sure you heard about this video that was trending. It happened from Japan.
Oh, yeah. Damn.
I think you saw it today, didn't you? Did you see the video today?
Yep.
If I can just find it here.
Freaking crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy, dude. It is fucking insane right now. The shit that we see, right? So, it's from the Stardom promotion. It's from Japan. Right?
Yep.
I can just find the video on my phone here. Just bear with me here, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me here. Bear with me. Okay. It's pretty much from this past weekend. They had like an pay-per-view, whatever, or a show in Japan. It's between Yoshiko versus again, if I botch names, I apologize. Yoshikawa, right? And in this, apparently shit goes wrong. Apparently it ends up becoming a shoot match where pretty much the shit gets real. And the story behind it is the fact that, if I can find the story here or whatever, the story is the following: that pretty much Yoshiko was the current champion of that promotion or whatever, and she was supposed to put over Yaosukwa, and apparently she didn't want to do it, and in retaliation, because she was pissed off about it, she ended up hitting her for real, and then the other girl who's got mad as well, and she got more offense than the champion. Started having her bleed, broke her nose, got concussions. Just really, really disgusting stuff here. You know what I mean? And it's really, really sad how there's people in the business who don't want to do business. You know?
Yeah.
And it's, again, that's my take on that. You know? Is it fucked up? Fuck yeah. What happened was fucked up.
Hell yeah.
But you know, that's not supposed to happen. You know, I don't want to hear it all. You know, that's how they get done in Japan. You know, it's not the
Her face was all like it says she had like facial fractures and shit. I could tell by the photos. Exactly. I saw the photos. Her face was definitely fucked up. Her nose was fucked up, and she suffered a concussion. Come on, man.
Like, it's unbelievable. It really is unbelievable. But it's just, you know. Apparently, yeah, they're both getting blackballed now. I hope they do, in all honesty.
I think most people are blaming the woman, though, who beat the fuck out of...
I blame the girl who threw the first punch, though. That's why I blame this
woman.
But hey, because you might think about it, right? You are a professional. Let's put it this way, right? If we're having a match, and you're up and coming, you're getting attention, you know, fans are going crazy for you, and my promoter would tell me, hey, we want you to drop the belt to you, obviously, I'm going to do it because, again, I'm doing what I'm being told. Granted, even though I don't feel like you're ready, but fuck it, why not, right? Can you imagine WrestleMania if they told Brock, hey, you got to drop the belt to Roman Reigns, he doesn't want to do it, he ends up just punching him for real?
Oh my god.
Can you imagine that? Or imagine if it was Daniel Bryan versus Brock Lesnar WrestleMania 31 and they tell Brock, hey, you got to drop the belt to Bryan, he doesn't want to fucking do it, he just fucking sifts the fuck out of...
You have to take Brian to the vet. The vet, I don't know that shit. That was
imagine, just imagine that. The holy crap, you know. It's just so surreal sometimes, you know. Wrestling, you know. Wrestling can be beautiful at times, and sometimes can be very ugly.
Yeah.
You know. And what I saw was something that's very, very ugly. I'm sorry, it really is. You know, if you guys are on YouTube, look at it and you'll see for yourself what we mean. People talking about dumb dress. This is the reason other countries are calling Americans dumb, and I agree. I would buy the shirt by Weston. Thank you, we appreciate that. Cause yeah, here's the thing about it, right? And me and Knowledge Wrestling, we've been talking about this for a while. We've been thinking about, hey, you know what, coming up with some shirts. I know we're not at that level yet, like other podcasts, if you will, but it's still being talked about. Eventually, yeah, there will be team help with that. I'm not saying ProWrestlingTees.com, but, you know, something small, you know what I mean? It could work, right?
Yeah.
It'll probably be like your Fruit of the Loom brand, or, you know, your Gildan brand. You know,
I mean, that's mostly everyone's brand.
Or American Apparel.
Oh, wow.
Or, you know, we should bring it back, yo. Galaxy White Tees, yo. Galaxy Tees, yo.
Oh, my God.
Baggy ones and shit.
No.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Gonna wrap this week's podcast. Gonna wrap it up now. It's getting late, and I got shit to do tomorrow, taxes and all that. I gotta talk to my girl in a little bit, so I'm calling you in a bit, okay? Just so you know, honey. And I'm rocking a new haircut. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. I have a faux hawk now. It's a funny story. I told my barber, do whatever you want. Because me and my barber, right, we have this trust, right? We have this trust where he knows what I want. So I was like, you know what? Fuck it, right? I told him, do whatever you want. And I fell asleep. I woke up. Bam.
You fell asleep while he was doing his...
I didn't do it. I just fall asleep. I don't know why. I just do. Right?
I understand closing your eyes, but damn, literally falling asleep.
Dude, I have the past. I don't give a shit. I have a trust with my barber. I have a distrust. But that's that, of course, right? But anywho, guys, this wraps up this week's podcast, episode 82. We thank you all for tuning in this week. We thank you all for calling in, those who've called. Spaz Phoenix and Weston, we appreciate your calls. Again, guys, we thank you all. I hate being repetitive, but again, without you guys, we just be some random scrubs talking to a stream with no viewer whatsoever, pretty much, right? This week, whether you're viewing this live right now, or whether you're viewing us on the playback, Stitcher, Radio, iTunes, this will be on iTunes, it will be on Stitcher, ShoutEngine.com, for downloadable purposes as well, so you can have this as an MP3 format. Because I know, a lot of people, when they go on YouTube, they view it from their mobile devices, and sometimes a lot of these companies, like AT&T's, T-Mobile, Verizon, they love to have mobile data plans, right, where you can only use a certain amount of data.
Yeah.
And to avoid all that, you can download it as an MP3 format, this podcast, and view it on your way to the gym, your way to work, whatever it may be.
Anyway,
if you're having sex, right? If you're having sex, piping your girl, whatever, just have us talking in the background and shit.
What
Imagine
the
that, right?
fuck?
Imagine,
you can listen to it anywhere if you have that shit downloaded, though. So
exactly.
No Wi-Fi connection or anything.
What we want you guys to do is the following, though. All of you out there, is just simple 4 things. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. That's all we ask from you guys.
Yeah.
That's simple. I'll say it again. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Like, comment, share, subscribe. That's simple. Alright? You can follow me on Twitter at HeelSteven. You can check out my YouTube channel, youtube.com/HeelSteven. You can follow the TEAMHEEL Podcast on Twitter at TEAMHEEL Podcast. Check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/GutCheckPodcast. Links to all that down below in the description of the stream. So what are you waiting for? Follow the TEAMHEEL Podcast. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. What the fuck are you waiting for, people? And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. That's me, cuz.
Yep, I'm Knowledge of Wrestling. You follow me on Twitter at HeyOnWalter and subscribe to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Knowledge of Wrestling. That's about
Exactly,
it.
guys.
Yep.
Exactly. Again, just to remind you guys, this Sunday, or tomorrow technically, we'll be reviewing the 13th anniversary show for Ring of Honor on my channel. We'll take live calls and all of that. 11:30, like 30 minutes after the pay-per-view, if you will. Okay? And before we leave, to quote my good friend, the PW Outsider, when life has you down, just remember, masturbation is key. It's all in the wrist, guys. All in the fingertips, ladies.
Oh, wrist.
Oh, yeah. Cockfist, baby. Cockfist. We'll see you all next week for episode 83. Good night, everybody. Have a nice weekend.
Peace.